All right, webinistas of all callings, I thought we'd take one more an installment of designing a web page using tables, and in this case, I thought we'd do some fictitious company, Acme Widgets Incorporated, who has some kind of website, and they've got sales department and engineering and service. They have job postings, and they have an About Us section like many companies do. And then they have some content that's specific to each page. And we'd use this format, and we'd have a main page, and then we'd have a page for sales, engineering, service, careers, and About Us. So given this kind of layout, and this document is, of course, posted on the class Moodle site, we should take a look at doing this. And this time I'm going to use the Notepad editor under Windows. And so here I am under Windows, and I have the Notepad editor. But one of the things I want to do, I'm going to go to our class information and pull out our really simple template that we have, that I actually probably have in by memory, but we'll go to our class here, and we have a template 000. I think this one, the one that's 4 zeros at the end. And I think what we'll do is we'll open this. We'll open this with Notepad, and we will copy it. I'm going to grab all this text and do a Control-C to copy it, and then I'll close that, and I'm going to open up Notepad here, and we'll put that in. And I think what we'll do is we'll put a comment in so we'll put in exclamation point dash dash, and the name of this file we'll call CSI-252-60 underscore table driven layout underscore main. Well, we'll call it underscore 000 underscore main dot HTML. And I suppose we could call it index. We'll make another one called index.html after. So here we have our beginning, and we're going to need to look at our layout. So I can either go back and forth here, or I can make a PDF and view this under Windows. Why don't I do that? I'll do a file save as, and we'll choose PDF, and we'll export that. And so this thing I can go over to Windows now, and if I go to week 5-6, I have table controlled layout example 2.pdf. And I think I can shrink this down here somewhat. Okay, so here's our body section. The very first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a table. So I'm going to indent. I use 2 spaces every time. You can use whatever you like. There's a table, and we will end the table. And we'll need a table row. So I'll go in 2 spaces, and I'll go table row. And this table row will need to span 2 columns, so we can say col span equals 2, and we can put in we can put a header 1 in here, H1, and put Acme Widgets Incorporated, and if we had a nice logo, we could, you know, embed that as an image and everything else. So there's a table row right there. And now we're going to have another table row. This table row will have a couple table data. Oh, you know, I'm so sorry. I needed to put in that there was a table data item there. So TD, and let's just go crazy with the indents. And, so we've got H1. We probably should have ended the H1. And that's the end of the table row, and we need to end the table data item. Well, there we go. We started a table. Our top row here has a column span of 2, and we have Acme Widgets is a header 1 is our first table data item, TD. All right. So our next table row, we start, and I like to put in the ending tags as soon as I put in the start tags, and lots of development environments do that for you, just so you don't forget to end something. So our first table data item here, TD, we'll just say departments, and then end. I believe we can get away with that. Then we have the end of the table data. Now our next table data item in this row, I copied that and I put it here, and let's just take out departments. But this guy, so the second item in this row is right here, and this guy spans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So this guy right here, table data item, we need to say row span equals 7, because this block here, if you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows that are spanned by this guy. So we say that on this first row. That will, and then we can, if you want, we can put something in here like table, page specific content goes here. It'll all be on one line, but who cares? Now we're going to need another row. So we want another table row. So I come in here, table row, end of table row, table data, end of table data. And notice we will not have to put a second table data item in this row where sales is, okay? because we have this guy spanning 7 rows, HTML knows that we don't have another item in this row that we haven't already specified. So sales is going to be actually a sales is going to be a link to another page. So we'll have to put in something like -a href equals quotation marks /. I'm going to go up here and select this file name and put it down here, and instead of that, this one is going to be 01 sales.html. And I guess so we can close off the A tag and put in the end of A tag, the end of A tag, and then here we just put the word sales, and it'll become a link. And we can actually repeat this. We're going to repeat this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and we're going to have a 6th one that's blank. So we can take table row, and we can copy that, and then we, Control C will copy it and paste it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And we can change each of these. This will now be layout 2 underscore, not sales, but this will be engineering, and we'll abbreviate that one just ENGR, but we'll put the word engineering over here. So now each of these guys will be represented over here. This guy will be 003 under service. You just put SVC as our file name, I guess is fine. And that one is service. The next one is going to be our big file name, 0004, and this one is careers. And call it career. I don't know, maybe I could have abbreviated that, right? But just call it careers. The next one is about us, so we'll just call it ABT. And here the name of it will be, of course, about us. And the last table data item will not have anything in it, so I'm just going to leave it blank. All right, I'll leave a space there just to remind me that it's blank. And so we now have a file. We should be able to save this file and open it in a web page and see something. Well, we'll see what we get. I think we're going to have to go in and do one of those 100% width things to get this thing to fill up in the way that we like. Then we may want collapsed border to get just a line instead of those double lines that HTML likes to do. So I'm going to copy this file name here with Control C. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm in the proper directory for this. I'm going to save this here, and instead of it saying text documents.txt, I'm going to drop this down and have it say all files, because if I don't do that, I think it will put .text on the end of my file name. And I save it, and then I come over here and I look at here we have this file at the end here is CSI 25260 table driven layout 0.html. So what happens if I double click this? Okay, we have something of what we want, we just don't have any borders on our table. So I guess we're going to have to specify some things. Now if you don't want borders on your table, that's completely fine. You can just use this format. You can see that it figured out to put things. These guys are in rows, and this row spans everything else. And so we're close to having a template that we want. Now, if we want borders, we're going to have to look at what we used for borders and what we used for percent in our last example. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to go look at our last example. I'm going to try to see what we have here, date modified. So here's one of the ones that we had. The header for every page goes here, and let's see what I'm going to open that guy with Notepad. And we have table widths. So here we have some parameters for our table tag, and we have border equals 1, cell spacing 0. So let's just grab that whole situation there and put that into our file. I'm going to do a Control-C and go to our file. And see, our table starts here. I'll put a space and a Control-V to paste it. Oh, I almost got an extra bracket there. So now we have a table with width 100%, cell spacing, and border 1. So let's save that. You can save it with Control-S, or you can go to File, Save, and then we can go back over here in Windows, in File Explorer, or whatever you like to call this thing, File Exploder, or whatever, and go to this first example here. No, I'm sorry. That's the previous example. Let's go down here to our web page template that we just did today. Okay, that does not look good. Sorry, that was our wrong template. My bad. So, we have trying to find our file here. Table driven layout 000_main.html. Yeah, okay. That's that didn't come out too nice, did it? So we obviously have some work to do there. It made the two columns equal, and we really wanted the columns controlled by that. So we're obviously going to have to look up the parameters to control the column width to the extent that we want. And Acme Widgets was supposed to be in a col span 2, and it was supposed to go across here. So we'll have to see what we did wrong in the col span 2. This should have been put across, and we want to make this centered. So we'll add that centering tag, not the center tag, that's deprecated and not recognized in HTML5. We'll use that the parameter that we used last time. And so let's see what we have here. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is actually a little thing here, but we would like this to take the rest of the page and do that sort of thing. So let's see what we can do about controlling the controlling the column width. First, though, I thought we'd look at our table header. Says col span 2 header 1. There must be something wrong with my col span 2 call span equals 2 on here for this table row. Perhaps it's supposed to be on the table data, so I will remove that from there with Control X. I'll put it on this table data item. I think that's where it's supposed to be. I'll use Control S to save it, and we'll refresh this file. There we go. Now that's a little more proper, and we're getting a little better spacing on this column. Let's see if there's a height equals 100% option also. That would be kind of cool. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should specify a height for each of these items here, and then allow the rest to just fill out. So, well, I'm going to try the height thing here. Copy that. I'm going to paste it twice and change the second one to height equals 100%. Control S to save it. And I don't think it's valid. So, then save that. So I think we're close to having a template here. Now we can look at what we did previously with this thing. You can see that this title is centered, so let's make sure we pick up the correct centering language here. And I'm going to open this. I right-clicked on it and hit Open With and put Notepad. And you can see that the proper tag, the proper parameter to center something is text align colon, style equals text align colon center. So we'll do a Control C to copy that. We'll go over to this one. And we'll go right here, header 1, space style equals text align center. Control S to save that. We'll come back up to here and hit the refresh, and there we go, Acme Widgets incorporating the centered. So now we just need to do some table control, and we're going to do that in our next episode, next lecture. So please join me in that, and we'll see if we can get ourselves a nice template page that we can just replicate very easily for each of these, because when you go to sales, you want it to look like this. And maybe we put another link in here somewhere for kind of a back to home or something. Put a home link in this last one. So we can do a couple improvements and wind up with a template, and put some phony content in, and we would make a separate HTML file for sales, engineering, service, careers, about us, because that's what we said we were going to do down here. We made separate hrefs for those. Have all the files in the same directory, and actually show a web page that we made with templates, and then you can kind of imagine how we could adorn it with images and change fonts and that sort of thing. So all right, see you in the next lecture, and thanks for watching. Bye.